Today we're going to do 20 questions. Welcome to quarantine land. I have been in self-isolation for everything other than doctor's appointments for 40 some odd days. I am starting to really go crazy. I'm going crazy because not a lot is getting done. We have 2 kids in the house now, and well, a kid and a baby, and I am about to go insane. I'm going to be answering a series of questions put together by So Loud. Her video channel is in the link in the description, and hopefully we can entertain everybody here. My first costume was actually one I didn't make. It was one made by Mary Rediger from So True Designs in Athens, Ohio, and I saved up all of my babysitting money for years building my 1860s wardrobe, and it was a really fun experience. I later made an 1860s dress based on the shapes that she had done and had unknowingly figured out how to drape a pattern and pull a pattern off of an existing thing, because I was just experimenting, trying to figure things out, and it turned out okay, and it actually gave me the bug to continue sewing. My favorite costume has to be the one I made for my mom, I think. I made a wool 1908 dress for my mom a couple years back, and it was the most challenging thing I'd done because I haven't done much 19th or late 19th century, early 20th century sewing, and I don't use a machine very often, so it was a huge learning curve, and it turned out really good, and it fit my mom like a glove, so I really can't wait to have an outing where we can show it off again. I don't know if I have a dream costume. I really just have like lots of costumes in my brain that I want to do all the time. So I have a queue that's like 3 years long at this point of what I want to make. So I don't really have a dream costume yet, but hopefully maybe someday I will. I just really enjoy the making of it. We'll start out with what I don't like. I really hate hemming. If it's a small little turned hem, that's not a big deal. That doesn't bother me at all. But the really like thick hems or faced hems, I don't know why. They're easy, but I just find them extremely annoying. A sewing task that I love, I really like rolling hems. That's not something that you do on every single garment, but I love that part. And I also absolutely love getting the fit absolutely perfect. So that part of the patterning, draping, alteration, smidging, widging, all of that jazz project and whatnot, that's what I really like. I'm definitely a wool girl. I love working with wool. It's so forgiving and it always looks really nice on, and the wools just have like such a wonderful texture to them. I like silk. I like the properties of silk, but if I had to wear one or the other for the rest of my life, it would definitely be wool. Themed events, 200%. I really like the idea of going to a themed event, mostly because everybody is kind of in the same vein and we're all kind of going for the same thing. Pick your own theme events seem to have a different kind of feel to them, and I really, though I can appreciate everybody's, expertise or appreciation, there's that word appreciate, I don't know, I just prefer the immersive events. At this point, I would rather attend anything. I'll go to anything right now, as long as the coronavirus is not there. If I have the opportunity to eat, I'll probably choose that, because I like food. In all seriousness, I really prefer more of an intimate dinner. I like going to balls, I like going and dancing, but there are never enough men or people that are able to dance the male part, or the lead part, that it makes balls a lot less fun than I think they were in the past. I'm afraid of the sewing machine. It's really scary. There have been too many times that I've had close calls with my fingers. There's been too many times where I can't figure out the tension of anything and I've had to rethread it's just, I don't really like machine sewing. That being said, I'm trying really, really hard to continue to practice on the machine, making a gajillion masks recently, though I've not enjoyed making them. It's definitely helped my machine sewing abilities, but hand sewing, forever. I love hair. I love doing hair. I love playing with fake hair, all of that jazz. It all depends on what the length of my hair is. My hair, I have a lot of it. It's very dark. Luckily, it's within like the 2 darker shades, so I'm able to find hair pieces for it. I rarely wear a wig because I have too much hair and it ends up being really, really hot on my head if I have all of this underneath a wig. Most of the time I use my own hair to do stuff and then add hair pieces to it, mostly for convenience, because you can do up the hair piece prior to and clip it on and go on your way, and that's really, really awesome to have that ability. I actually don't really watch YouTube. So when I watch YouTube, it's to get away from things that I do on a daily basis. So I like to watch totally unrelated to sewing things. My favorite color is green, followed closely by coral, or a salmon color, and then red, I think. Oh, yellow. Oh. But blue's really good too. French blue is such a pretty color. I like a lot of colors, but I don't wear a lot of colors. In reality, I wear gray. I wear gray for almost everything, or this color of blue, or navy. In my real life, I have a very, very bland color palette. As you can tell, I'm not much of a glitz person. I really prefer pearls. Most of the time I wear no jewelry at all. Most of the time I don't even wear my wedding ring. So I'm really not the one to ask for that kind of thing. Dogs are going crazy. I have always wanted to go to Carnival in Venice. I know that now it's been done several times from other costumers, but I found a bucket list from when I was 18, and that was totally on there. So eventually I would love to go. Don't think it'll happen anytime soon, but I would love to go. I would love to do it. It sounds like so much fun. My favorite cocktail is an old-fashioned. I don't get it very often though, because I would much rather have a whiskey that's just neat, or a beer, or just a glass of wine. I'm pretty not exciting when it comes to those things. I'm not picky, I'm just particular. So that's what I usually go for. Not very often, doesn't happen very often at all. I don't like feeling buzzed, so I usually only have maybe one in an evening. If I'm feeling crazy, maybe 2. But yeah. Virgin mojitos are great too. I love virgin mojitos. I'm not a fan of rum. A costumer I would love to meet. There are so many that I literally cannot say. And unfortunately, when I do meet these people, I usually get tongue-tied and can't say anything, so I end up shying away and not saying hi, and then I seem like I'm being standoffish, but it's literally because this thing doesn't work. Plain or patterned? I say that I like patterned, but I actually like plain. I want to like patterned, but I'm afraid of it a little bit. I'm a huge fan of tone on tone because I like the subtlety, I like the texture difference more than a different pattern. My opting for patterns versus draping is usually dependent on what I'm making. If it's an undergarment that has a lot of structure or something that I really don't need to reinvent the wheel, I will obviously opt for a pattern. But for most of the time, I'm making a garment that's based off of a portrait or a fashion plate where the lines are really particular. So in that case, I end up doing a lot more draping rather than using an existing pattern. I love the 80s. I love the 1780s and I love the 1880s. What I think is fun about both of them is that they have huge butts and they have kind of crazy hair, and the color combinations are really interesting, and I really like that both of them have its very tailored element with a wacky element. So those are what I would like to do most. Well, I'm pretty much an open book, so if you've met me in person, you probably know way more about me than you ever thought that you should. But I started out college at the Ohio University School of Music as a piano performance and pedagogy major. So I used to play some fun stuff. I really miss not being able to play as often. Thank you everybody for watching this video. I think I'm supposed to say like smash that like button or something. I don't know. Subscribe and stuff. That looks pretty bad. Hello everyone and what? Oh, my hair. Ah! Such a squeaky chair. So, subscribe.